are stinging so bad. But there's no shortage anymore since they don't come down and strip the trees. But they used to lay sheets down and just strip them all, load pickup loads of them, take them back to Missouri and process them into cosmetics. And this is the dog rose. It has quite a few medicinal uses. The main thing is once the bloom goes down, it'll present red, crimson hops or berries that even back in the early, when the Europeans first come over, found that they were high in vitamin C, and it substituted for fruit on their ships to prevent scurvy, because they actually got more vitamin C than oranges do. And you can actually, once they start budding out, once they turn red, you can actually eat them right off the vine. Because where it got its name dog rose is that they thought the berry even cured, if you was bitten by a rabid dog, that they thought it would cure being bit by a mad dog. So that's where the name derived of dog rose. But they're almost ready to go down now and start producing the hops on them. But they're not scented like a rose, even though they look like a rose. But it's an important medicinal plant.
Do you use the hops for anything?
Yeah, that's what you can actually make jelly out of the hops, and a syrup out of the hops, and but like I said, medicinally, it was just for vitamins. They'd haul it by the shiploads back to Europe. Even in World War II, when they couldn't get citrus fruit, they shipped dog rose hops to Europe to take the place of fruit. Okay, we're back at Mountain Creek, Arkansas, along a branch here. And earlier we'd showed you elderberries before that bloom even come on. And now they're finally in bloom, getting ready to turn to the berries themselves. First they'll blossom in this white blossom of hundreds of blooms, and then as soon as the blossoms are gone, they'll turn into this, which every one of these berries will turn into elderberry. With elderberry, we make elderberry wine. They're good for coughs, a cold. Medicinally, they're used in lots of ways. The Indians actually believed they were sacred plants, that the spirits would go into the plant, so they never would cut these elderberries. But man, the white man, they'd take them, make, actually the bigger trees would take them and make musical instruments out of the stalks of them. But they'll turn into a dark, dark purple color and make a beautiful wine. But as you can see, it could take hundreds and hundreds of these, because they don't get any bigger than a pea, a small pea on a very small stem. But it makes a great wine, and this year is extremely plentiful of elderberry. But we use this to make wine out of. They don't use it so medicinally as they used to, but like I said, for a cough and a cold, it's a good medicine. And probably another couple of weeks, all this will be a dark, dark purple, and then it'll be time to harvest them for the wine. Okay, in an earlier video, we showed you the elderberry in the spring, or the white plume pod. Well, now it's the time of year. This is September, and the elderberries are ready to harvest, which most of us people out here in the mountain make wine out of them. We'll cut this whole pod off, pick all these individual berries, and make elderberry wine. One of the best mountain wines besides muscadine that there is. But this is one beautiful clump of berries, and you'll have to harvest probably 15 to 20 pods like this to make 5 gallons of wine. But this is the time right now to be harvesting the elderberries. And hopefully we'll match it up and show you what the bloom looked like, and then what it looks like now in full production of the berries. And you have to get them now because between the bear and deer and everything else, they don't last long. I can show you another one that the birds have eaten on. You don't get to them soon enough, since every animal in the woods likes them, they'll end up like this. Everything feeds on elderberry. So you can see the difference between this pod and this pod. But like I say, elderberry is one of the biggest wines done in the mountains, and it makes some great stuff. This with the fern-looking leaf is called wood betony. It's one of the probably top 4 in heart medications. The thing I really love about it is the plumes. You've got the purple and yellow, and it goes to a solid yellow, even into a dark maroon. But it's a ground cover. The blooming time is very short, but it will cluster up this cone into a spiral, and it grows from root to root, and you'll have patches of it. Like here, there's hundreds of them all around me, and it comes up every year. It's called wood betony, and it's medicinally is a heart medication. And this is the darker lavender purple. Then we go over here and we have the yellow. But it is an absolutely beautiful plant, and it's out of the fern family, and it's probably one of the prettier blooms in the forest this time of year. Get me stumbling. Now this is one of the most sought after plants in the National Forest, which is illegal now to dig in the National Forest. This is on my own property. But this is ginseng. One of the most sought after plants, especially after last year. I think it almost got up to $1,000 a pound. So it's pretty well prized. I like, if you'll notice, this is a 4-prong. An old timer friend of mine, Jesse Jones, he'd said he'd seen 7-prong ginseng plants. I've seen 2 5-prongs in my life, and they were 4 foot tall. But as you see, where they say a prong, you've got, this is a 4-prong. It's got 5 leaves on each prong, and this one is a 2-prong. That's your young. They go from a single prong to a 2-prong to a 3-prong, then you'll get up to your 4-prong. So the root to this will be really big, and you really never want to dig anything but 3s and 4s. Anything less than that, you're really it's senseless to dig, because the root will not be very large.